Welcome back, Wolfpack Brillis here. It looks like we have just two brutal teams. This is kind of ridiculous. That the opponent carrying a lot of Ghosts, carrying a lot of Bulk, and then we also just have Charizard with Greninja open. That could actually get pretty fancy right there, as well as just showing us Scizor. This is like the just battle of the shenanigans right here is how I feel this is going to be. Because Dusclops Tyranitar, brutal open, but there's a lot of power and setup potential on the ally side. And that's Greninja. I mean, what could this be? You might think map lock into Charizard Y. That actually works really well here because there's no priority and Greninja is the fast Pokemon. So that map block is going to be very effective. It is going to be Charizard X, however. So we do have Dragon Dance potential. We have a lot of shenanigans that can go on for sure. And I've used shenanigans twice, now 3 times. So we can see where this goes. It's going to be Mega Tyranitar showing with that Mega Charizard. And Mega Charizard, not in as bad of a situation. You know, it's not a 4 times super effective rocket at least. And that's going to be the transform for the Dark Pulse onto that Dusclops. Dusclops bulky enough to survive it, even though it was a critical hit. And Charizard going to outspeed and just play it safe on Tyranitar, getting a Will-O-Wisp in. Okay, so Charizard using Will-O-Wisp instead of just going for the outright setup. Will-O-Wisp, wow, just so many crits on this turn and a lot of just craziness. I think that was that a crit on Charizard? It's hard because I don't read Japanese, but Dusclops taking damage, so everyone's taking damage, and at the end of the turn, you know, we have burn, we have some kind of craziness, and even if that was a crit, then that means, you know, Charizard has some bulk, would have survived regardless of that burn, so crazy. And that's going to be Dark Pulse just outspeeding into the KO, and Charizard with Roost, so Roost Will-O-Wisp, knowing that he's going to get more health back, and without the crit, there's just going to be a lot of damage overall. So Rock Slide, that's going to hit Greninja and Charizard, but we know the split damage isn't going to be a lot. And yeah, Charizard not taking as much. Sandstorm going to be good for this. And now we can just kind of see, you know, Charizard, does he have like offense? Is this support Charizard X, just kind of using the stat gain to maybe be more of a physical wall and try to just put Will-O-Wisp all over the place? Now you know that Sableye is not going to be any kind of magic bounce, because we already have the Mega right next to it, so that's nothing to worry about. And that's just going to be a Scald hit on the Sableye. The burn goes down anyway off of that Scald. Sableye does have a Lumberry. No? Citrus Berry. Okay. So we do have the Citrus Berry. That's going to be a flinch from the Charizard. Tyranitar going for a Rock Slide. We know it's not enough damage. Even in the worst case crit scenario, it's not going to be enough. Greninja does go down to the Rock Slide. So Tyranitar just sitting there trying to get that damage across, and it is paying out. So Sableye with that Sandstorm damage as well, and the burn onto Tyranitar. Tyranitar taking a lot of its damage from the burn. What is Charizard going to be able to do? It can Roost. This looks like it's just going to be like a prankster meanie on the Sableye. But we do have some other options going down. So Bullet Punch is going to show from Scizor, and that's going to be almost enough to take out Tyranitar. The burn at the end of the turn might do it. Will-O-Wisp going to hit Scizor though. So a lot of status, a lot of problems right here. This gets interesting. So Charizard is going for that Roost, going to try to stay healthy, and you know, if you're looking at it, Sableye is going to be taking a lot of health at the end of the turn. Tyranitar, he's pretty much done. Like, it really doesn't matter at this point. You might as well just throw out the Bullet Punch onto the Sableye, get that little bit of extra damage. Charizard does gain health at the end of the turn after that Roost, so it is a big plus for the Charizard playing the slower game, and Tyranitar was sitting at that 1/8 of the hit points, so it does go down this turn. I mean, that's one more Pokemon left. You just go and status it with a Will-O-Wisp, and yeah, actually you can't status it because it's going to be a Chandelure. I was like, wait, that last Pokemon's a Chandelure. So really, not a good situation for the Scizor. Sableye is just going to have to go down at this point. You know, just Bullet Punch it, you get that burn damage in. Sableye is going to throw out the Taunt, making sure Charizard can't do any kind of shenanigans, and he's just going to show Earthquake. So Charizard, Earthquake, on top of that, I'd imagine like a Fire Punch, and yeah, that's a good amount of damage on the Chandelure, going to finish off Sableye, and it's really going to be like your main option. You know, Scizor's going down anyways. You either switch out the Scizor, or you just let it go down, you get that Earthquake damage in, and it looks like that's going to be game here, because now Charizard just uses Earthquake, Sandstorm's going to subside as well, and that's like it. Now we also have priority and stuff, even though, well, we actually don't need the priority. So, Earthquake, you know, it's just going to hit everyone. Not really too worried. Damage is right there. And even then, Metagross doesn't take a huge amount of damage, Chandelure does go down, and that's going to be game right there. So I think that that's a cool battle. You know, you see Charizard like, oh, it's going to be Swords Dance, or not Swords Dance, it's going to be like a Dragon Dance set up into the map block. That seems pretty good, but no, it just turns into Will-O-Wisp and some other shenanigans. So if you guys enjoyed that video, and we got more Fan Fridays coming up in a bit.